Alright guys, so we are in the power building today. I'm going to take the old cell with the yellow cap there outside, drain the acid out of it, and try to give it a little autopsy and see what went wrong. I'm expecting we're going to find a broken plate or something like that because it's shorting out. It's down to 0 volts, thereabout. So, alright, let's get started. Thought I'd give it a quick test and see what our voltage was actually at. So we've got our probes on there, and there's where we're sitting. 0.010 volts. Wow, look at that. It's like super dirty. I don't know if you can see how. So it had etched a bunch of the what do you call it? The lead oxide paste stuff off of it. I'm guessing that's what that is anyway. Here we go. Alright, so my regular camera decided it didn't want to work anymore. It's too hot for it. So we're moving on to the cell phone for a little bit. So what I've done is I went ahead and cut all the way around on the top, and it's not attached to the bottom of the jar at all. So I probably would have been better off just cutting right around the top and not even messing with this big long cut down the side. But let's see if we can. Nope, that's not gonna work. There we go. Ooh, wow, look at that. The plate is just separated off there. Oh, acid. Oh, well, that was splendid. Well, I've got acid all over my shoe. Good thing I'm wearing my, well, I guess they're new-ish. But they're so crap. Yeah, unfortunately I don't really know what I'm looking at. I caused some of this damage in pulling it apart, as far as the crinkles on the edges here, but those are just plastic pieces, I think. Yeah, or rubber, something like that. So, oh yeah, down inside here you can see one of the positive plates, I'm guessing. I'm thinking that's positive. And this, where it ate through, probably is where my short was at. Huh. Oh, and this here is that green piece I was talking about that had like crud on top of it on one of the other cells. So, yeah. Well, I'm guessing it shouldn't look like this. There shouldn't be all this scale on top of here. And inside here. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll take some pictures and send it off to the battery company, and they can decipher what this means. Alright, so I think what happened is you can see that little bar hanging to the right off the negative plate. I think that one broke first and shorted against the positive plate, and that's what caused this whole thing to fail. So anyway, the way these are built, you've got two positive plates on the outside, and then you've got a negative, positive, and so on, and then there's one extra negative on the end. So anyway, it makes up, what is it, 5 cells in here, and there's a total of 13 plates, but 5 active cells, I guess you'd call it. Anyway, so that's where they come from. Like the 12511 gives you 625 amps of available power at 6 hours. Alright guys, so today we are finally going to start cutting up some metal. And the wind has been really still until right now, and as soon as I pick up my camera it starts blowing. So hopefully this is coming through alright. I don't have my, my good microphone. I can't seem to find that either. So anyway, I've been watching some YouTuber guys on, you know, welding stuff and whatever, and I all seem to love this Silver-Streak pen versus the soapstone, so decided to pick one of those up and give that a shot. And we've been using these Steel Demons on our little circular saw over there just to cut tin, but also we cut through some 1/4-inch steel with it, and it was amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that up on this big old miter saw and use that instead of my chop saw with the abrasive blade on it. So let's get started. Yeah, my little roller stand was stuck. Sand gets up in there. So I get all ready to cut, and then I realized the blade's backwards. I had the print facing out, figured that's the right way for the other blade. I didn't even look at the direction for the teeth. Luckily I noticed it before I went to cut and ended up busting teeth off it or something. That would have sucked. This blade's working awesome. Cuts through it like it's wood. Alright guys, so we got a bunch of the metal cut up and we loaded it up on the trailer and brought it over to another job site, and I got the posts cut up for our building here, all except for one. We have one 12-foot that we need to cut still for the back row, but that saw blade works friggin' awesome. It's like, you know, I'm able to do my miter cut and it's perfect. You know, I just marked the one side here real quick and cut it, and I mean you can see it followed. I mean obviously I set the saw to cut it, but followed perfectly, and then when I put the square on the other side I was right on. So it's a beautiful way to cut it. I mean I used to use the bandsaw for it, but you know you always get that little squirrely bit where it kind of pulls one way or the other and whatever. It's just hard, and this cuts fast. I mean, it probably takes me less than 5 seconds, 5, maybe 10 seconds to cut one. And and you look at the blade, even after cutting all this stuff, and I realize it isn't very much, but still, I can't even see like an indication on those teeth that it had been cutting anything. You know, the paint is just barely smeared on the blade. Anyway, so the next challenge is putting these posts up in the air, and then trying to decide if I need to put like supports, outriggers, whatever, temporarily to hold them until we get you know, at least 6 of them up, so that we have our purlins holding between them and whatever, or if it'll be okay just to weld them in and have them sticking up in the air and not worry about it. I don't know. I'm just a little worried about the twisting motion, you know, when the wind hits them or whatever, transferring down into the concrete and end up cracking something or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably underestimating the strength of concrete though, so I probably don't need to worry about it, but I still will. So maybe what I'll do is just put a couple of the C purlins on, you know, about halfway up the post with a C clamp, and that should be good enough. So I can do a couple facing each way, or you know, so 4 of them I suppose around it. But we'll see. That should be good. And as soon as I get the C channel welded to the top, you know, right on these 3, get the C channel welded onto those and onto the middle part here, and then get a couple of C purlins between them. You know, then I've got a full structure that's not going to have as much, I guess, I'm trying to think of it as a torsion force or what it would be, but basically that twisting force, you know, as you've got the post up in the air and it wants to go like that force on that little piece of concrete right there just worries me. Anyway, I guess we'll be working on this either later this evening or tomorrow morning, so I'll make a video then. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.